Okay, so step number 7, make adjustment for other gains and expenses. So there's a couple of gains and expenses that we're going to have to make adjustment for as per the question. And usually that happens as part of, could be as part of the start or as part of here. So we look at the start, we got 3 months premises insurance prepaid. So you're going to have to do an adjustment for that. So we see here we've got insurance paid 6,000. We've prepaid 860. So we can find out how much is prepaid for the next period. Then we're also going to have to look at the wages due. So the wages due are going to be part of your general expenses. Then we have light and heat. So light and heat due. And we also have rent. So we have 4 extra adjustments that we need to put in here as part of step number 7. So the first adjustment we're going to do is insurance. So let's see how much do we pay for insurance as per the question. So our insurance is 6,000 for the year. So annual premium 6,000. So we're going to put 6,000 in here. Then we're going to have a look and see, do we prepay or due any insurance? So up here we know we've got 3 months premises prepaid, so that's going to increase the amount that we've paid for our insurance. So I think it's 860. So 860. So 860 was at the start of the year. We paid another 600 or 6,000. So our insurance that we paid so far is going to be 6,000. Sorry, no. It's going to be 6,860. Now, of this prepaid amount, so we have premium insurance for the year. So if we've paid 3 months, then of this, only 9/12 of that is for this period. Because we have 3 months already paid, we just need another 9 to take us up to the year. So of that 6,000, we only need 9/12. And that 9/12 is going to give us 4,500. So when we take that away, so 6,000 is for the year, 4,500 is for this year. So we've prepaid 1,500. So your balance sheet of your current assets is going to be insurance prepaid 1,500, and then your expenses then for this year is going to be 5,360, and that's going to go into your expenses. So that's your first adjustment that we've done for insurance. So for insurance, just have a look at the end and see, do we have anything down here for insurance? And in this question, we don't, just in case to put something in there for you. The next one then is going to be general expense, and that's going to be your wages. So in the question, we've got general expenses of 23,700. So that's going to go in here, 23,700. And then we've got wages due at the start of the year. So that's the wages due 1,700. So that's going to reduce it. So that's going to give us an expense then of 22,000 for your general expenses. Also, just have a look at the bottom, see if they have any wages due or wages prepaid at the end, just in case in other questions that they have. Okay, so still continue on with step number 7. So what we've done so far is we've done our premises, we've done our wages due. So there are 2, as part of wages will be part of our general expenses. There are 2 things that we need to note that we have to adjust for as part of step 7. Here then we have 2 adjustments to do as part of this paragraph here. One is going to be for rent and the other is going to be for light and heat. And it says 20% of light and heat used should be attributed to the private section of the premises. So we have light and heat here for payments of 5,800. We don't have any light and heat at the start, whether due or prepaid, but we do have it down here at the end. So we have including in stock heat fuel of 3,000. So that's 3,000 we've left over. So we're going to reduce our light and heat by 5,800. Also reduce the stock by that 300 as well. And then we've got electricity due that's going to increase it. So we're going to have the 5,800, take away the 300, add the 720. That figure then, 20% of that figure goes to drawings and the 80% then will go to your expenses. And then we also need to reduce our stock, 17,300 by 300. So let's have a look and see what that's going to look like. So we've got our next working line, light and heat. The amount for light and heat is 5,800. we said we have some already left over that's included in our stock, and that's going to be stock of heating fuel. So we're going to take that away because we still have that. So we've got 300 left over. So now our light and heat is 5,500. And also at the end, just have a look, we've got electricity due for this period, so that needs to be increased as well for 720. So that's going to give us an expense for light and heat of 6,220. Now we said 20% of that, so 20% of the heat used is going to go to drawings. So you need to get 20% of 6,220, which is 1,244. So your expense for light and heat is 4,976. You'll have the 1,244 that'll go to your drawings, and then you'll have this electricity due or light and heat due that'll go into your balance sheet as a current liabilities. Also remember to reduce our stock, which was 17,300. Take away the 300, which will give you your closing stock then of 17,000. So your closing stock then will be 17,000. That's going to go into your trading account, and then your closing stock, the amount, this 17,300 is also going to go into your balance sheet as current assets. Remember that 17,300 is made up of your closing stock and your closing stock for fuel as well. So these two here, this 17,300, that will still go in. So it's not going to be 17,000 because we still have the heating oil as a closing stock as well of this 300. So just be careful with that. That the trading account will be 17,000, and these two figures here, this 17,300 is going to be part of your current asset closing stock, which is your closing stock with 17,000 and your closing stock of your heating oil as well. Let's look at the last working then for step number 7 for your expense, which is going to use rent. So it says the figure for rent was in respect of an adjoining building rented by Connolly on the 1st of the 10th, 2004. So we start renting this building on the 1st of the 10th, 2004. It was paid in advance, so you had to pay for it in advance. So you got 10, 11, 12. So you got 3 months for this period and 9 months is prepaid. And Connolly estimated a quarter of the building was used for private residence. So the amount we got for rent is 2,400. First thing we're going to do is find out how much of that 2,400 was for private residence, and that's going to be for drawings. And then we're going to calculate the expense and the prepaid on the figure that's left. So let's have a look. So 2,400 is how much it was. 33% of that then is going to go for drawings. So it's a third, so 2,400 divide that by 3 will give us 800. So 800 is going to go to drawings. And what's left over then, this 1,600. So 9/12 of that 1,600 is going to be prepaid. So if we think about it, so the question says that we start renting it on the 1st of the 10th, so he needs to pay this rent for 12 months beforehand. So 3 months is going to be for this period up as far as December, and then the 9 months is going to be the prepaid. So 1,600, which is left over because 800 goes to the drawing. Of that 1,600, 9/12 is prepaid. So if 9/12 is prepaid, there's 400 then is going to be the expense for this period. So this 1,200 is going to be the prepaid, goes in the current assets, and your 400 then is your expense. So remember, 2,400, a third of it is for drawings. What's left then is how much is going to be for the expense, and it says it's prepaid in advance. 3 months is for this period, 9 months is for the next period. So 9/12 of 1,600 gives us 1,200. That's the prepaid amount, and then what's left then, €40 then is the expense, and then that's step number 7 completed.